I would like to acknowledge that this video is being filmed on the traditional lands of the Wurrundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander or First Nations people who may be watching this video today. Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I have books beside my bed video where I wrap up the last 7 days worth of reading. In fact, this is part 1 because I read a stack of books this week, but I was reading a stack of adult titles as well as a stack of children's and YA titles. So I've decided to split them in half so that we don't have a video that runs excessively long. And also if you are only interested in the adult titles, you can watch this video, or if you want to watch and hear about all of the kids and YA books that I read last week, there will be a separate video which I will leave linked on the screen. They're going up at exactly the same time, so you can just pick and choose which ones you want to watch. Although I do recommend both because I actually really enjoyed doing a bit of a deep dive into kids and YA. I haven't done that for a while, so it was really fun. This particular video is my little marathon of Cleo Evans' Creature Cafe series. So I read this between the 22nd and the 27th of May. There are 8 books so far out in the series. It is all available on KU, and collectively with the 8 books, I read 862 pages. So they're all somewhere between about 85 and 120 pages long. So they're super short and very easy to read. And with these 8 books, my total reading count for the year is 236 books so far. So if you want the stats for the rest of the books, check out the next video. As I said, I read the Creature Cafe series by Cleo Evans. This is an erotic monster romance novella series that is based around a coffee shop owned by this mysterious paranormal creature called the Barista. We find out that he is the Grim Reaper and that he has quit his job and he's now running this local coffee shop. And he takes great pride in matchmaking demons to their human fated mates. There is sort of this macro plot that is going on that features the Barista and his ex, Lucifer, who is trying to rise and trying to kill or at least take out some very heavy revenge on the Barista. So that is a thread that runs through all of the books. The typical format for each of these novellas is you have the opening chapter with the Barista meeting with one of his clients, the paranormal creature that he is being tasked with matchmaking for, and then the rest of the story is told from the perspective of those characters, with of course some interference from Lucifer and the Barista along the way. This series does feature lots of kinks, lots of dom-sub relationships. There is a whole lot of content warnings and sort of keyword tropes that people would be interested in. I'm not going to list absolutely everything, but if you want a complete list on any of the books, feel free to let me know and I'll try and give you what I've got. I will say that in this book, most of the humans and a couple of the monster mates do end up being kidnapped by various evil factions, so be aware of that going into it. And a lot of the humans have some kind of traumatic past with the monsters of this world. So in this world, the monsters are mostly unknown to humans, but occasionally humans find out about their existence, and it's not always under the best of circumstances. That said, not all the monsters are monstrous. A lot of the characters that we meet are simply just trying to live their lives, and they are really fun. So the first book in the series is Little Slice of Hell. It features an incubus named Dante who is trying to find his fated mate. He's currently living with 2 roommates. He has a half-minotaur roommate and also a dragon shifter roommate, and these characters also get their own books in books 2 and 3. The Barista matches Dante with a human named Peter. I think the keynotes I made for this one was that there was a very interesting use of a tail, and also there's a male pregnancy in here towards the end, but that is very cute when it plays out in later books as well, so it was really fun. The second book is Little Sip of Sin. This is an MMF romance between 2 dragon shifters, Dracon, who was Dante's roommate, Del, who was a new character, and the human woman Cat, who the Barista matches the 2 of them with. This book does feature knife play, breeding kink, and knotting. And I will say that there is a content warning for death of a partner off page. So Kat was previously married and her partner was, I think her partner was killed by a monster at one point. So she's still working through quite a few things, but Dracon and Del are just absolutely devoted to her, and it is just really fun. I also like how in this series Cleo Evans has played with that shifter trope, so that all of these characters, particularly things like dragons, and there's another creature later on that I'll talk about, they can project themselves as humans, so they can walk around and they can look fully human, but it's not the most comfortable thing for them. But they have half forms and they have their full forms. And this one was really fun because obviously dragons are quite large, and so a lot of their surroundings end up reflecting that. The third book is Little Lick of Lust. This one is the Minotaur, who was Dante and Dracon's roommate. He is an artist. He paints a lot of erotic monster art, and it features in the barista's coffee shop, and he is matched with a human woman named Penny. This one does feature primal kink with chasing, also pegging. So I know some of my friends are always looking for books like that, so this one does feature pegging. But it was just so sweet because Rum, the Minotaur, is just such a sweetheart. He can be big and he can be domineering, but he is also just this creative soul at heart. The fourth book was one of my favorites, Little Shock of Hate. This is another romance. It is an romance, and it features, well, I think it features a morality chain, or it's as close as I'm going to get to one in a novella. So I was very, very, very happy when I realized that. We have Meduso, who is a demon with electrical tentacles, and he also changes colors. Like his skin changes colors. He's almost like depending on his mood, his skin changes color. And I just thought that was a really cool effect to have, because it then also becomes really creepy when he's in a dark room. He is matched with a human named Noah. This one does feature CNC. It also features public sex and voyeurism. Meduso is a very, very controlling alpha character, and he will kill anyone who gets in the way of what he wants, and what he wants is Noah. So that's where the morality chain sort of kicks in. This one felt a little bit darker than some of the other ones because Meduso really does not have a filter. And I find that those characters are really interesting to read their perspective of, not because I'm condoning violence or anything, but just because I like seeing how those characters process and work through a situation, because he doesn't want to hurt Noah, but also he will do everything to keep Noah with him. The next book is Little Piece of Sass. This is an FFM romance, and it is between an established married monster couple. So you have Al, who is a werewolf, and Luna, who is a werecat. And part of being sort of part of that were family is this idea of building a pack, and their packs usually have 3 or more people in them. And so they're finally ready to add someone to their pack. And so they ask the barista for help, and they are matched with Quinn, who is a human woman who has a grudge against monsters, and she's come to town specifically to work through that. And that's how they meet, and eventually she begins to process her own feelings regarding monsters by being in this relationship with Al and Luna. This one does feature characters going into heat. It also features primal kink and knotting. Then there was Little Song of Pain. This one is Icarus, Daedalus, and Melody. This one probably felt the most taboo of all of them, because Daedalus and Icarus are twin phoenix brothers, or phoenix shifters, and as they rightly pointed out in the story, it's weird, but they're not playing by human rules, so I just had to keep that in my head. But they are closer than close, and they are looking for their fated mate. And the deal with phoenix shifters is that when they find their fated mate, their phoenix characteristics are passed on to their mate, so that she is not affected by fire, because obviously they're firebirds, and that's a huge thing. So this one does feature a lot of fire play in it, and it was interesting to have phoenix shifters in a book, because I don't think I've read one in a romance book yet. Book 7 is Little Taste of Need, which ironically was the first book in the series that I read, and then I went back and read the books through from book 1. Little Taste of Need is a sapphic romance between Ella and Naomi, who is a Naga princess, so snake woman. The reason I picked this one up was because it was sapphic, and I'm always trying to find new sapphic paranormal romances, and this one fit the bill. And then I just got, sucked down the rabbit hole of all of these books in the series. It certainly helped that they were all very short. Anyway, Little Taste of Need does feature hypnosis, an interesting tale, an interesting use of tales, but I did really like the introduction of the Naga characters in this world. And then book 8 is Little Risk of Fall, and this is Jasper's book. Jasper is an orc who we have seen in previous books. He's usually someone who helps out the barista when things go wrong, and he is matched with Alex. And the notes that I'd written down for this one were an monster romance featuring a kilt-wearing orc and daddy kink. And I feel like that's probably all you need to know about this particular book. But it was fun, and I liked spending some time with Jasper because he is one of the leaders of the orcs, and the orcs live in a community and they play lots of games with their partners, but they're all devoted to their partners. So that was really cool to see. And I think the next book comes out in the next couple of months, so stay tuned. There are 2 more books planned. I forget who's in the next book, but I know that the last book is the barista and Lucifer's book, or at least the barista's romance, and Lucifer will feature in it. So I will let you know when I pick those 2 books up once they're released. As I said, they're all in KU, so they're you know, very accessible. I'm going to leave this video here, and if you want to catch up on all of the kids and YA titles that I read, please jump to the next video. Otherwise, feel free to let me know what you have been reading in the last week, or if you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave the little purple devil emoji in the comments to let me know that you're here. Otherwise, I hope that you are doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.